My name is H.A. Goodman, and I'm an author, columnist, and journalist. And to read my writing and to see my latest CNN appearances and my MSNBC and RT appearances, you can go to hagoodman.com. Something very interesting has taken place in terms of WikiLeaks and the perception of WikiLeaks within the U.S. government. So, officially, outwardly, we're working with Germany and Sweden and the UK against Julian Assange and WikiLeaks. But when you look at the change in perception, especially from people on the right, people associated with the Trump campaign, um, that kind of shows that change of perception correlates to potentially a Chelsea Manning pardon or a Julian Assange pardon down the road. I know I'm being uh, perhaps overly optimistic, but I'm going to go ahead and read you something. Strangely enough, many Democrats have recently expressed the opposite change, which is true. WikiLeaks task force just tweeted out. Strangely enough, many Democrats have recently expressed the opposite change, and this is in relation to Trump's deputy national security advisor, going from one position or one stance on WikiLeaks and Chelsea Manning, all the way to retweeting WikiLeaks Podesta emails and WikiLeaks emails showing massive corruption within Clinton's campaign throughout the election. So I'll read you. Trump National Security Advisor pick once wrote Chelsea Manning should be tried for treason, executed if guilty. KT McFarland, Donald Trump's pick to be his deputy national security advisor, once wrote that Army intelligence analyst Chelsea Manning should be tried for treason and executed if found guilty. Manning was convicted and sentenced to 35 years in prison for handing over a trove of classified documents to WikiLeaks. You have done an amazing job. To my amazing subscribers, you have done an amazing job sharing the petition for Chelsea Manning. The petition is below. Please, please, please continue to do so. It has now surpassed all my initial, predictions as to hopefully where it would go just from my channel alone. You guys are amazing. The petition is below. Please go ahead and share it. And it's for President Obama to commute Chelsea Manning's sentence to just time served, essentially pardoning Chelsea Manning. She is a whistleblower. She is a hero, and she's helped this country greatly. She does not deserve 30 plus years in prison. But I'll read you this. McFarland, a national security analyst and host of an online Fox News show for years, made the comment in a weekly column on the Fox News website. It's time to up the charges, she wrote, of Manning in 2010. Let's charge him and try him for treason. If he's found guilty, he should be executed. The most recent treason, you have to accept a payment from an enemy nation. Then it's treason. So there's no way that Snowden or Manning, and certainly not Assange. Assange is a publisher. He's publishing information that the Washington Post is to publish. The most recent U.S. military execution of a service member was in 1961. McFarland was also critical of WikiLeaks founder Julian Assange in 2010, calling his group a terrorist organization and arguing that Assange was waging a cyber warfare against the U.S. She once called for him to be tried by a military tribunal in a 2010 television appearance. Now you see KT McFarland and you see a whole bunch of other people within the Trump campaign and within among the right, among Republicans, completely changing their tune. On KT McFarland's Twitter feed, she linked to stories on the Podesta emails, even using a hashtag that was started by WikiLeaks for the document release. In October on Fox News' Red Eye, she mocked Hillary Clinton's proposed campaign slogans, which were revealed by WikiLeaks. In another appearance, she said Assange was trying to show and bring down corruption. As far as so this is now KT McFarland, 2015, 2016. As far as the WikiLeaks, not the Russian connection, but the Julian Assange WikiLeaks connection, I think he's trying to bring down and show corruption wherever it exists, she said in an October television appearance. Quote, they've just gotten their hands on Democratic stuff. I have no doubt that if they find their way into Republican emails, that those will be released at some point to embarrass and influence as well. McFarland and the Trump transition team did not return requests for comment. So the point is this. You can see an evolution of growth, and you can see at least a transition from, okay, WikiLeaks is dangerous, to WikiLeaks is actually exposing corruption. In this case, it obviously helped Donald Trump. It obviously helped Donald Trump. The influence is predicated upon Americans not wanting somebody as corrupt as Hillary Clinton. If people say, well, why didn't they go ahead and find emails on Trump? Whether it's a mole within the Democratic Party or a foreign government, nobody knows who gives WikiLeaks information. They keep their whistleblowers completely anonymous. The point is this: there's obviously, number one, more corruption among Democrats than there is among Republicans. There's not a Republican with a multi-billion-dollar foundation taking in $156 million from 85 people. There's not a Republican, Trump included, who ran for president, who has 2 FBI criminal investigations, and who was careless and negligent with classified information like Hillary Clinton, who put 22 top secret emails on a private server like Hillary Clinton. The point, though, is this. The point of this segment is there's an evolution, or there's some kind of, that word evolve with Hillary Clinton is synonymous with duplicity. This actually is an evolution. This actually is a changing of viewpoint, because people associated with Trump can now see how important WikiLeaks is in protecting democracy, in terms of the First Amendment, and in terms of exposing corruption. So it's not this threat to a state. It's a publisher publishing information on corruption. If Hillary Clinton had the most corruption or the greatest amount of corruption in 2016, WikiLeaks was able to expose that. That's what the Hillary bots or the public relations firms can't understand. It's not about targeting Clinton. It's about exposing the corruption, or the fact that there were 2 FBI criminal investigations, and that information and a lot of other pieces of information are linked to WikiLeaks 1 through 36, the Podesta emails, the WikiLeaks DNC emails that show Bernie Sanders was cheated. Trump wasn't cheated by the RNC. Bernie Sanders was cheated by the DNC. Give me your thoughts below. Essentially, the same people who once thought WikiLeaks and Julian Assange were threats are now changing their perception. This could lead to potentially a pardon or potentially an end to the lawsuit. In my mind, give me your thoughts if that's overly optimistic. The reason being, as I said, you have people within Trump's administration who see the not only the heroic nature of WikiLeaks as whistleblowers and Julian Assange as a publisher and whistleblower, but the utility in how it can benefit democracy. Give me your thoughts below. Thank you so much for listening.